Welcome back. So this training is one of my absolute favorites of all time, securing clients, and we are going to be talking about the sales process. The reason being because you hear so many conflicting reports of what a sales process should look like. I've heard of everything from if they don't contact us and they don't follow up and they don't ever reach out to us again or respond to our email, they're not the right client, all the way to the sales approach where people say, I will not stop contacting you until I get your business. And neither of those really feel right to me. I don't know about you, I'm guessing not. But ultimately, I wanted to create a sales process that felt incredibly comfortable, that felt natural, that felt genuine, that didn't feel like I was pretending to be something that I'm not. But when I was creating that sales process, there were no guidelines for me. I didn't understand how to create it or what it should ultimately look like. So I've taken my sales process, the actual sales process that I use, and turned it into a really helpful guideline for you so you can understand exactly what you need to do, the steps you need to take, and how simple it can be to bring a client from start to close. So the steps are the first contact. The first contact is usually done in what we covered in the last video. That's when you find the client. That's when you first contact them or they first contact you. The discovery call, the proposal, follow-up, and an important step, sign or release. So first contact is everything from that first inquiry to you reaching out to them and kind of the communication back and forth. So what should that look like? It should just be short and direct using the templates that I have provided to you in the last video module. And what you want to do is ultimately get them on a discovery call. Now, I don't actually call it a discovery call. I say, I'd love to speak with you. I'd love to hear more about your business. And it feels like the most natural flow for getting them onto a phone call where you ultimately learn if it's a good fit for your business or not. So schedule the discovery call. The discovery call is so important in this whole process. If you do not have a discovery call, you're going to find that there can be communication errors. There can be energies that don't align. You might find that the customer or client isn't somebody that you thought that they were. So what I like to do with my format for discovery calls is I start with an intro and connection. When I get the person on the phone, we talk for a little bit. Usually it's about 15 to 30 minutes where we just discuss them, who they are, what they're up to, and not anything to do with their business or even mine, but finding mutual ground, finding if your energies coincide well, seeing if you can communicate fairly easily or if you have different ways that you handle yourself that don't seem to mesh. Now, it's important, this is one of my favorite tips, is that you don't talk shop on this intro or connection segment. The reason being, you want to develop a strong connection with the person that goes past just business. If you jump right into business right away, it feels as though your only connection is going to be business, and I just don't like the tone that it sets for a client relationship. So I take those 15 to 30 minutes and just get to know the person that I could potentially be working with. Usually we end up laughing quite a bit and finding quite a bit of common ground. Now, in the discovery call, the next portion is asking open-ended questions. And this is going to be about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how long your intro and connection section goes. The types of questions that you're going to want to ask include learning more about the company. This is where you can ask all about the company if there are things that you don't already know, what their goals are for their company, especially as it relates to the projects that you will be handling, what the current systems in place are, and also what they have used in the past, what their budget looks like, incredibly important. And then you want to give them a teaser of what you would do for their business if you had the opportunity to work together. So if you are working in fashion, you could say, oh my goodness, I would love to create a special pair of shoes for your toddler Johnny. He would absolutely love them. Or if you're working in graphic design, oh my goodness, I have the perfect PDF in mind. You wouldn't believe the fonts that are coming, into my head in this moment. I think they'd be absolutely perfect. A teaser is an opportunity to get them excited about what comes next. An important note: when you are on your call, make sure to take notes, especially as you ask questions. I've made this mistake before and come back with completely the wrong answers. So take notes. It doesn't have to be a lot. You don't have to memorize every detail about them, but knowing about their goals, their budget, what they are currently using, what they've used in the past, and what they imagine your relationship being like. Take notes of all of these. It's going to make your process so much easier as you craft a proposal. And then you're going to want to end the call with action steps. So for me, that usually looks like, this has been an amazing call. I'm so glad that we had the opportunity to talk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of time to think about this. I'm going to craft a proposal and I'll send it on over to you in about a week. Now that's pretty obvious, and now that's a very clear end of the call, as well as it gives them an action step. They're not left hanging or wondering what's going to come next. They know I'm going to send a proposal, and you can even say, as soon as I send you the proposal, you can send me your thoughts, and then we can schedule a call. Or you can just leave it open-ended and say, I'll send you a proposal in a week, and I can't wait to hear what you think of it. So we're going to dive into the proposal. It sounds like a dating. So we're going to dive into the proposal. The proposal format should be pretty easy to follow. I handle my proposal with a 1-week turnaround. I always try to send it within 1 week, usually not much shorter. Keep it stupid simple. You don't want to complicate them with some long drawn out contract, because contracts are actually very difficult to uphold in court. Plus, it's probably not worth your time. So you want to work with people where there's a mutual understanding, there is a trust, but you'll still want to protect yourself with certain things in your contract. And then you send a personalized email. So it can say something like, I enjoyed speaking with you on this and this date. Here is my proposal for you. I can't wait to connect. P.S. How are things going on your business trip? And I've got my favorite lucky proposal template in the notes. It's going to seem incredibly easy to you guys, but this proposal has been my lucky proposal. Every single time that I send it out, I know that there's a good chance that I'm going to hear back from the person and they're excited to work together. It doesn't confuse them. It's very clear and easy to understand. So be sure to snag it up, take a look, and then create one that is similar, that makes sense for your business. Then we come to the interesting part of the game, and that is follow-up. Now, for me, I've always noticed that following up with a potential client after you've sent them a proposal is kind of like courting or dating. Consider the proposal maybe the text message or the email after the first date. Well, if you don't hear anything after the first date, and you also don't hear anything after you send the proposal, you're going to want to handle it a little bit carefully. I don't like to come across too needy or too desperate. And so it's kind of like that situation where you're waiting to see who responds. So I actually wait 1 week. I follow up in about a week to make sure that they received it, to ask their thoughts. But other than that, I'm not too eager to say, did you get my proposal? And then to follow up again and then send a third email within that week. I follow up within 1 week. I don't chase my prospects either. That's really important to me. If they wanted to work with me, they would. And if I don't hear anything from the proposal and then I don't hear anything from the first follow-up, I'm not going to contact them again unless I know that there are extenuating circumstances that are causing a delay in the process. But chasing a client makes you feel desperate. It can make you go crazy. You wonder why they went dark. So I never chase after somebody once I send them a proposal and the 1 week follow-up. In the follow-up, I like to schedule a call unless they're already ready to sign. More often than not, in that first week after sending a proposal, you'll hear back from them. They are already ready to schedule a call, or they have comments on the proposal. They want to tweak something. They send it over signed. I've had people send me a payment after sending the proposal. But scheduling a call is a great natural step. I'd love to schedule a call to discuss my proposal and our plans to potentially work together. Keep it super simple. I know you're going to love it. So enjoy, and I can't wait to hear how it goes for you.